roasting Mother Teresa. I mean, even Don Rickles wouldn't be up for the task. Well, I'm happy to be here tonight to help honor my friend and colleague, Paul Moses. It's hard to find anything good to say about Paul. That hasn't been said by hundreds of people before. But I'll try anyhow. Throughout his long and illustrious career, Paul has excelled in many areas. He, as a graceful writer, as an intrepid reporter, and as an inspiring and nurturing teacher. I emphasize this last point because this quality is often overlooked among the flood of encomiums and honors that he has garnered over the years. Before we expanded a little, we used to call the journalism program at Brooklyn College in the English department a mom and pop store. I was pop, he was mom. I mean, it was meant as a joke, but as all jokes, it had a germ of truth to it. More than a germ of truth, I would say. Paul is known around the campus as one of the most accessible of professors, and students flock to him for advice and, yes, solace, something they often sorely need. Paul is a modest fellow, and for all his accomplishments, but I believe you couldn't have chosen a more apt nominee for Alumnus of the Year. It's been quite a banner year for Paul, highlighted by the publication of his wonderful book, The Saint and the Sultan, which won the Catholic Press Association's first prize for history, and has been selling like indulgences in the Middle Ages. It is a little-known story of a peace mission undertaken by St. Francis of Assisi to Sultan Malik el-Kamil during the Fifth Crusade. The book is a journalistic hymn to peace and understanding that resonates loudly in our own dark time of civilizations clashing and religious intolerance. Consider, for example, the rhetorical mayhem surrounding the proposal for the Islamic Center near Ground Zero, and you'll get some idea of what I'm talking about. Whoops, got a little bit of page 4, where are you? I feel like, what was her name when she was always, Janine Pirro. Paul is no stranger to awards. Having won a Pulitzer for his spot news coverage for New York Newsday in 1991, and having won, for example, a Wolf Fellowship in 2007. But I believe that this devoted son of Brooklyn and adopted son of Brooklyn College, which is the real meaning of alumnus, will hold this award especially dear. So I'm proud to hand this award to my good friend and colleague Paul Moses.
Well, first of all, I'd like to thank the Alumni Association, especially Paula and Virginia. And two people you met on the stage already this evening. in the alumni and in the campus so soon. So that, that's really what it's all about for us. I also like to congratulate the other winners, especially Gene Rushnoff, because I quoted you so often, Gene, when I covered City Hall. He was such a good source of information, especially on ethics and city government and things like that. I have to file one of those disclosure forms now. And everybody who's here, thank you very much, especially the family and parents and what. It's been an interesting experience to come back to your school 25 years later. And I was a psychology major actually, but unlike the previous honorary, I was mediocre. But I took about a third of my credits in the English department. And there were really some teachers there who really guided me to where I am now. And I really owe them a lot, so I just like to say some of their names. There was Professor Miller, who was the one who really kind of planted the idea. You could actually be a writer. That could be your work. You could pursue that. And there was Bruce Porter, who taught me on the journalism class I had. Tony taught with him for years. I sit at Bruce's old desk now. So that's the old pull-out for the typewriter. And Bruce was the only class I had in journalism. It was great, and Bruce made it seem like really cool to be a journalist also. So there was Jonathan Baumbach, brilliant again, and he really encouraged me a lot and helped me to get into graduate school, worked with me on that. And also Susan Schaefer, a very accomplished novelist. And when I was a freshman, she had written on a paper in a class in reading poetry. You don't write very well. And when I was a senior, she took a novella I wrote and actually brought it to her editor at Macmillan to read it. And that's the kind of school this is and was. I was going for free, and I was getting the attention you would get at a tiny, across kind of college. It was a tremendous education. I see heads nodding. I think it was that way for a lot of us here. I guess when I came to teach here, in the bulletin where the courses are listed, at the beginning of each department, there's a listing of the faculty members. And for me, it was really a thrill to see my name in that space where these other faculty members who taught me had been, and some still were actually, when I arrived here. In the novella I wrote, it was about a kind of nerdy young man who worked in a shoe store, as I did, who, through a series of kind of comic misunderstandings, gets a lot of plane. I kind of realized the novel didn't get published, but I think it's sort of untrue. I guess what really makes this is the students. And the students and the school are really much more the same than different. And the students have the same kind of hopes that we did when we were students, and the same kinds of insecurities too. And it's just as hard for them to imagine that there's a place in the world for them as it was for me, and probably for a lot of us. And to the extent that I can get to help them, along the same path the way that others helped me, it